It is Saturday, and I had a quiet-ish Saturday compared to the Saturdays that I normally have. And I kind of didn't know what to do with myself. So today, after we dragged some crap out of the yard in the basement, and that went to a dump run, I pulled some green onions out of the yard and dehydrated them. Very exciting. I pulled the pottage bag. We have a bag that we keep in the freezer for all the ends of all the vegetables, and I boil it down and make a vegetable broth out of it to make soup. What else did I do today? Pulled some chard out of the yard. Swiss chard out of the yard. That's fun to say. And I made some tinctures today. I did a red clove tincture, even though those were earmarked for salve. I was like, screw it, I'm going to make a tincture. And then I did a lemon balm tincture, which means that I cracked the vodka bottle. What? I cracked the vodka bottle that had been hiding on the rest of the family members for ever. I was like, this vodka's not for drinking. This vodka for making tinctures. Now now that it's open, I'm gonna have to hide the bottle. Like, I'm basically gonna have to sleep with it until it's all soaking herbs. Okay, so as you know, I went to One in Calder on Friday, as you know, because I only mentioned it 7,000 times. And I did some readings, and I can't come out of there without something. I had my eye on this tarot deck. Melissa and I, earlier in the week, when I had visited her, we had looked online to see what all the pictures are like, because it's hard to know when you just buy a couple of pictures on the box. So we're gonna open it together and look at it together. I'm so excited. The photos that I did see, or the artwork that I did see online, really spoke to me, but it's something else completely to get the book in, or to get the cards in your hand. So got that new card smell. Artwork by Gabriele Krasinski Rivoli. So I'm sure I'm butchering all three of those names. But it looks like we've got three artists. Although the tarot deck itself is attributed to a Barbara Moore, so I'm sure that she came up with the idea, and off they went. My very fancy steak knife. Open! See, just like that. Okay. So this is the Book of Shadows Tarot. It is a two-part tarot. This is called Volume 1 as above, and the other tarot that is put together is probably called So Below. Oh, yes, it is. But I didn't find that one online. So this is your intro card, which is kind of interesting that it's got a piece of art on the back. This is probably going to be all backwards, and I'm going to get a glare because, as usual, I'm sitting in front of a window because I insist on sitting in front of a window. Is my table clean? Sweet! Comes with your cheetah book. Cheetah. I wonder what you know what? We're going to look. Let's see what it says. New moon spread. Book of Shadows is a very personal journal kept by many witches, Wiccans, and practitioners of neo-paganism as a record of their mystical and spiritual journey, including ritual practices, spells, tarot reading, crystals, and astrological studies. Yes, I have a Book of Shadows. Yes, I use it. In its own way, the tarot is kind of a book of shadows, except with images rather than words. An unbound book filled with wisdom, guidance, and life lessons capable of helping us to remember and understand our life I think it's supposed to say life experiences, but it says live experiences. Could be right. Valid. So the deck was designed to hold and express modern pagan spiritual teachings or Wicca. These beliefs are broad and not at all unified in any systematic code. Indeed, Wicca is a religion, if it can be called so, but personal and not for a congregation, in which each person is encouraged to live it rather than follow it. What else? Okay, let's just look at them. Holy crap-tastic! Oh, at the very back, there is a So Below advertisement for the other bit. So Below, Volume 2, The Book of Shadows Tarot, which is out already. Interesting. So although number 1 is called, there's the Magician, that's from the Volume 2. It's the number 1 in the Major Arcana. Number 1 in the Major Arcana in this is called the Elements, which is similar. All of the elements are in place in the Magician. Usually number 1 is the Magician, but they call it the Elements. Okay, let's see. 0, the Summerland. Ha! Sorry, Tanya. I'm hurrying. I'm going. So 0 is the Summerland. This is normally the Fool. This is a very pretty card. And I think that represents the Fool pretty good. Number 1 is the Elements. So again, that is the Magician. It's beautifully done, and I like it. Number 2 is called Wisdom. This is normally the High Priestess. So the only thing that this card is sort of missing for me is the pillars, but we still have the Moon represented. She's still got her tools. She's standing in water, which is going to change how I read that a little bit, I think. Number 3 is usually the Lady or the Empress. This is the Goddess. So the interesting thing here is that the triple goddess is represented. I'm trying to see at the same time as I show you this to make sure that I don't think that I'm picking up the color very well on this either. So she got a rabbit for fertility. She got her right side up pentacle at the top. And we have Maiden Mother Crone represented. So the one by my finger has all kinds of flowers and everything on her. I'm kind of digging the crone's face. Like, I feel like that's supposed to be inside the oh my god, the chair. What is the fancy word for the chair? King and Queen throne. Thank you. Okay, so my lighting sucks butt. I know it does. And I can't figure out how to make it better. Is that better? My computer just turned off. Is that a little bit better? They're also very dark. Like, they are a very dark card. So, and I'm on my phone. So this is the God, which is normally the Lord or the Emperor. Look at him. He's horned, and he's got 2 wolves, which speak to me in several, oh, and can you see his belt buckle? So I think the only thing for me with that is that's going to speak a little bit how Cernunnos normally speaks to me. 5 is the Book of Shadows. So 5 is normally the High Priest or the Hierophant. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Book of Shadows, as that is that's very interesting. Okay. Now I feel, hello Kitty, have you come to join me? 5. Okay, 5 is the Emperor. No, sorry, 5 is the Hierophant normally, and they have that represented as the Book of Shadows. Okay, I'm going to use the cheat one just in case I need it. So, 6 is normally the Lovers, and they're calling it Beltane, which totally works for me. I should maybe be putting these away in order, maybe. I don't know. Hello, Kitty. 5, 6, 7 is, they're calling it Transformation. 5, 6, 7. That's the Chariot. All right, so that again is going to speak a little bit different for me than the Chariot normally speaks. Normally the Chariot for me talks about 2 oppositions that have to work together. To read it as a transformation is going to read it completely differently. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is called spellcasting. This is normally strength. So, I'm sorry that my lighting is shite. It's because I'm sitting in front of the window. Oh, I'm just going to put it right in front of the window light. So, spellcasting as strength is going to be an interesting read also. I'm totally being mauled over here. Do you need to have some love? Hello. Okay, it's because I'm wearing black. 9 is the path, and 9 is the hermit. 9 is normally the hermit, which again, this is going to read a little bit different. I'm going to cheat and read from the book for a minute. Making your own decisions, seeking guidance from the divine, freeing yourself from the influence of others, trusting your inner self, peer pressure. Oh, that's upside down. Peer pressure, ignoring your own heart. Okay, so there's a light. There's a lone person. He's going into a crowded woods. So, all right, I can get behind that as the hermit. So the next, number 10, major arcana is the wheel. They're calling it Wheel of the Year, which speaks a little bit differently, I think, than the wheel. Actually, it kind of reminds me, so in the Druidcraft Tarot, the wheel speaks to me like spell casting, like casting your circle. This is going to read a little bit different for me. It's beautiful though. Oh, maybe if I get it real close. Check that out. Okay. 11. 11 is, I'm cheating. I'm totally cheating. Justice. 11 is justice. This is Mabon. How do they read that? Justice. Would you be able to read that as justice? A time of accounting, weighing out the consequences of your actions, making decisions that will shape your future. So where justice, normally for me, when I read justice, it's a card that is sort of external, like expect justice to happen. They are when I get nice and close, aren't they, Tanya? This for me speaks a little truer to, I think, how the major arcana is supposed to work as the internal archetypal journey, right? In terms of that, justice has to come from within. I'm the one who's going to have to figure it out. Oops, I just turned the damn light on my computer back on. Okay, 12 is the hangman. They're calling it the circle, which, oh man, I don't know if I like that. I gotta turn my computer screen off. Boop. That's not gonna help. Okay, so this card as the hangman might only be... The hangman is usually a different point of view on the same situation for me, so that might translate. It's going to translate differently. You know what? This is going to translate differently for me, just like the Druidcraft Tarot translated differently for me from the Rider-Waite. Oh shit, you guys are going to love this one. Is this the devil? This is the death card, and the death card is Yule. Check that shit out. I'm trying to block, like, the light. Can you see what we have here for Yule as the death card? Sorry. How can I fix this lighting? I'm not entirely sure. And maybe if I turn you this way so you're just looking at my messy kitchen, maybe? Ha! Is that better? Yule as the death card. What do we think? Yule is the end of the year, right? Which talks about endings. Okay. Temperance. What? Is that right? Did I fuck this up? No. Temperance is Ostara. Trying not to get too much glare. Temperance is Ostara. So grace, flowing in harmony with the world, being at ease with yourself, being in the right place at the right time. I'm going to have to think about that one. I mean, she's got the, like, she's pouring the thing, which temperance is usually doing. And she got a wee rabbit in her hand. I'm going to have to think about that one, how I feel about that. Oh my God. You can see that as a death card. The black. Yes, absolutely, Tanya, on the death card. Okay, so the devil. Normally, and I know I've said this to you, normally before I choose a deck, I look at the devil card and I look at the death card, and that's normally how I'm finding how am I going to resonate with this deck. Lammas. Lammas as the death card. What the actual heck? So I really like the figure for it. This devil card translates as savoring the joys of the physical world, indulgence of the senses, not taking into consideration the consequences, which is not how I deal with the devil ever. Taking chances. So, wow. This is really going to read quite differently, because normally for me, the devil card reads as looking at how I'm connected to things. How is there karma related? What am I supposed to be learning from this? Where this says, just go out and enjoy the things. Huh. Okay. What's my next? The Tower. The Tower is omens. Crap. I'm just getting light all over the place. So we still have the lightning strike, but it's hitting a tree. We've got the full moon, which can talk about omens. And we got a little kitty there, which I'm not quite sure what the cat's doing there for the Tower. Omens is going to read differently for me than the Tower, for sure. Okay. The Star is represented by Imbolc. Can everybody see that? It's probably reading backwards for everybody because I'm using my phone. How can I? Oh, I'm still getting like, so frustrating. Okay. She's got her cauldron. She's pouring. There's a rabbit. There's something else in the background that looks like a sheep. She's got her cauldron. She also has her, look at her crown. Holy crap. Okay. The moon is being represented by Samhain. Or Samhain, some might say. I don't know how I like that. Darkness, the unknown, reflection and preparation, strong spiritual connections, communication between different realms. So she's got a little crystal ball out, and she's got some tarot cards, which I don't know that you'll be able to make out because of my stupid glare. But to have the moon represented as Samhain is going to be very interesting also to read. Look at this guy. Can you see him? That looks like death to me. I know it's supposed to be spirits riding. It's supposed to be death taking all the spirits with the moon. Crazy. Okay, so the sun is Litha, which that translates for me a little bit. You got like all the sunflowers. The sun is out. He's got a nice little bunny rabbit. She's got a nice basket full of good stuff. And she's pregnant. She's pregnant. And the thing that I'm curious about is he's got a green face. So I'm wondering what in the heck that means in terms of the sun. Because I always read the sun as everything obvious is going to happen. Everything is out in the open. Judgment is, ooh, I think you're going to like this one. The Judgment card, they call it initiation. Oh, for crying in the mud. I'm getting all the stupid glare. Initiation as the Judgment card. So I'm immediately interpreting this as your high priestess and high priest. Initiation, also we've got your right side up pentacle here, which is like your first, isn't that usually your first level initiation? It's a right side up pentacle, and yeah. So that's really interesting. And the world is called the world, finally. Something I can relate to. The world is called the world. So I think that what's going to happen for me, I think what's interesting is instead of having your 4 signs being represented, there's some faces. And so I'm going to have to figure out how I feel about that. Okay, that was the major arcana. I want to figure out how I can quickly go through the rest of these with you because they're really cool. Okay. Water. So they have earth, air, fire, water, which instead of your 4 cups, pentacles, wands, and swords. So, oh my God. I wish there was a better way to do this. 2 of water, 2 of cups, marriage. 3 of water. I don't like that at all. 3 of cups usually for me reads completely differently because usually there's 3 people in it and there's 3 birds in it. 4 of water, so 4 of cups. Usually, can you see that there's like 3 kind of little sprites down here, water sprites, and she's actually only got 1 cup. There are no other cups represented in that 4 of cups. 5 of cups, which usually talks about what have I lost, what am I not getting. So they've got water pixies or like water spirits in the cups, which I do kind of dig to represent the number. So that's going to read a little bit differently. 6 of cups. Who the heck is that? So 6 of cups, that's somebody help me out with what goddess that is. Is that like a Shiva? I should know better. I'm not even sure. 6 of cups is usually about contemplation. 7 of water. Oh my God. 7 of water. 8 of cups. 8 of water. Interesting. There's another one. There's another like Indian goddess with the elephants and everything. 9. She's usually abundance. And 10 of water. Where's all... Oh, the water sprites are in there. They're just really hard to see. Is my camera not focusing on there? Holy crap! Oh my gosh! So, instead of page, knight, king, queen, we've got element for page. We've got maiden for knight. Jesus. We've got mother instead of queen, which I dig. Oh, instead of kings. Oh, instead of kings, crone. So it goes element, maiden, mother, crone. Of course it does. Of course it does. Okay, so I kind of want to skip ahead a little bit. Earth, the earth sign elemental are gnomes. So there's gnomes in every number of the earth. Toot, 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 toot. So instead of pages, you've got element. Crap, I'm getting the light all over the place again. Fuck, it's really dark. It's a really dark card too. God damn it, I'm going to win this. Okay. Ah, shit. Did I just mix up the whole thing? No. Crap. Maiden. Maiden of Earth. Mother of Earth. That is gorgeous. Holy crap. Crone of Earth. So they all wore a green dress. Okay. I've totally got it completely messed up now, but whatever. Okay, I'm skipping. Fire is the fire element. Fire element is salamander. And I'm skipping ahead and I'm messing up the whole thing. Don't care. Elemental of fire, salamander. Oh my God, that's beautiful. I love it. So the salamander is all through the pip cards. Maiden of Fire. Cool. Mother of Fire. I'm surprised that these are so dark. Crone of Fire. I am so surprised that the fire, the court cards in the fire are so dark. Okay, so we've got air. Air looks like another kind of a elemental sprite. That's the one of swords, one of air, Dude is Dreaming. Again, I'm going to skip ahead to the... One of these days I'm going to get this right. Elemental of Air. I'm going to look it up. Elemental of Air. She's got fairy wings going on. Elemental of Air. Maiden of Air. Also a dark card in terms of color. She blonde though. She's blonde. Were they all different hair colors? I think they were. Mother of Air. Whoo! Mother of Air is surrounded by books. Look at all that knowledge. She's all about the knowledge. Crone of Air. Holy crap, I love this card. Look at her. With her one big book, and she's serious, man. Look at that face. So, the imagery is great. Sometimes I can pick up a deck and I can read it. And other times there are some very specific things going on in the particular deck that doesn't translate from one deck to another. And I feel like although this has some things in it, I think also what's going to happen is I'm going to have to spend some time putting together... Hello, kitty. Putting together some ideas in terms of some of the major arcanas being like Mabon and Litha and all that stuff to make it work. I'm glad that they have the numbers on the major arcana so that it's a little bit easier to, like I know the numbers. I know the major arcana numbers pretty well. So when I come, you know, like the first time I saw the Yule card, I was like, that's 13. Like that's death. How? So that will be helpful in terms of being able to learn how to read them. It's interesting that these ones are called As Above when the imagery is so dark. Fire, the suit traditionally associated with wands and represented by the salamanders, depicts the astrological and cosmological aspect of the universe. Air, traditionally associated with swords and represented by sylphs, depicts all the aspects of divining and interpretation of reality. Ooh, interesting. Am I saying that right? S-Y-L-P-H, sylphs. Water, the suit traditionally associated with chalices and represented by nixies. Oh, wow. Nixies for the water. And earth is pentacles by gnomes. The magic of the natural world in our planet. Okay, so these are going to be really fun to play with. I'm going to have to spend some time. I'm going to have to spend some time with the idea of nixies and sylphs in terms of getting to understand the energy. Wow. Okay, so thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being so patient and sticking with me with it. That is the Book of Shadows Tarot Volume 1. You know what's going to happen now is I'm going to have to get my hands on Volume 2 and see what the difference is. I'm going to be studying these suckers. These are delicious. They're making me salivate. But also I need to eat dinner. Okay, send your messages to me through private messages here. And thanks for hanging out. That was the best ever. I'm so glad I didn't have to do that alone. Okay, bye everybody.